What is going up, traders? So in today's video we are going to be talking about my trading journey. So I started about 2.5 years ago now is when I pretty much began trading stocks. I've always really been interested in it, even when I was in high school, ever since I took a personal finance class and we listened to David Ramsey, and he said, invest while you're young and it will pay out long term. And pretty much once I turned 18, I opened up a small broker's account with Robinhood. And from there, I started making trades. And obviously, I wasn't making any money first starting out. I put about $1,000 in, and I lost probably $700. I had $300 left. So now I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I took all that money back out, and I really took a full year, to study the market, really learn how it worked and what makes a stock go up, down, because before I was just putting money in, and when it would go up, I would buy out, This time I wanted to really learn from the best, so I started watching YouTube videos, and during that 1 year time is when I began paper trading on Thinkorswim, and I realized, okay, I've kind of figured out how it works, so let's take a little more time and make a strategy and kind of, write everything down, keep track of it all. And, that was, that was probably a year and a half ago, so year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. So, I came a long way, to be honest. And then I opened up a small account with SureTrader, and it was about $1,500, and I honestly just started trading gap ups. How I always say I trade gap and go setups. Like, that was my go-to strategy, gap and go. I still love it. It's my favorite strategy of all time. It's an easy one, especially for a beginner trader. It's something that I can actually look for, and I understand what I'm doing, rather than just putting my money, in something that I don't get. I understood support and resistance lines, but I would make a trade and then the support would break and I would lose money. And it's very hard to do a support and resistance line within a 1 minute chart. I'm sure many traders can back me up on that. You need at least a 5, maybe a 15, if not an hour chart to do that. And I wanted something that I could trade within the first hour of the market being open, find a stock, and pretty much make $100. That was my goal each day. I still have it on my short-term goals, is to make $100 per day. That was my goal. And with $1,500 or $2,000, however much I had at the time, I put all of it in. Didn't have a cent more, and I put it all in. And I started just making small gains, like $100, $75, $120. Then I would lose about 50, and then I would win a couple. It was always 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but it really started to build up. And then from there, once I builded up my account to probably around 11,000, I realized, dang, I am honestly kind of killing it right now. So then I started to, really kind of scale up and take a little bit larger positions, not too much, but just a little bit larger. Sorry, I got the sniffles. But so I took a little bit larger positions, and at first, the first trade I did was on GLUU is when I first started scaling up, and I lost like a ridiculous amount of money, like $300 or $400, and I was like emotions got to me. You know how in books, even in my book, right here, I talk about emotions, because that's a crucial part. talk about emotions, chapter 5. And, they say don't let emotions get to you because all winners and losers, or all winners, fail at some point. And so what I started doing is after I take a trade, I'll take like a 5-minute walk around my room, or 5-second walk. And that honestly kind of helped because even if I made a trade, it would give me like, I'd pretty much stand up. It wasn't so much a walk. I would stand up, take a breath, then go back because you kind of need that, especially when you're dealing with large amounts of money. This is more money than I've ever seen, to be honest. So from there, I pretty much haven't taken a cent out of it, and it's built up to just about $19,882 and like 52 cents. I'm not sure, around there. And then from there, I once I got to about 15K, I transferred that from SureTrader to Thinkorswim. So now you guys see me use Thinkorswim. So that's pretty much kind of how I started. And even when I was in high school, I watched Ross Cameron. I always wanted that kind of job where I hated working for people. I still do. If if someone asked me, go work a 9 to 5 or go work a couple hours, I literally would rather tear my eyes out, and I just don't like it. I don't like that concept of your time is only worth this amount of money. I just never understood that. Your time, you only get so much time on Earth, and for each hour I'll give you $8. I don't understand that. I'm sure once you get older, because I'm young, I'm only 19, so I'm sure once you get a little older, you start realizing, okay, it's time to settle down. But I honestly could care less about two things: what people think of me, and pretty much just that. I don't care what people think of me, which is good. So if I want to post something on YouTube about anything, I'll just do it. But so that's pretty much where I started. I started in high school, pretty much watching Ross Cameron trade, and he was killing it. And I watched him turn $583 into over 200,000, and I was like, geez, they're teaching us about the algebra, and they're not teaching us about something like this, something that will actually benefit us. And even when I was in high school, I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a day trader. I was like, oh, I want to trade. And then I was like, I want to be an electrician. And then I was like, I want to be a vet. And then I wanted to be an engineer. And, and I always did pretty decent in school, about 3.3, 3.5. So I wasn't like super smart by any means, but I did get decent grades. And in college, I do fairly well. I like college a little better. I take one class where I have to sit in, and then 2 classes where I just do it online. So it's fantastic. But pretty much that's how I started. I just started with a small account, built it up. I think that's how most traders do it. I don't think a lot of people have like 25,000 to just put in and just work with it, because 90% of the time you're gonna blow up your first account and your second or your third. I just kind of started just really buckling down and studying. There was a time where like I would just sit in my room all day looking at charts, watching YouTube videos. I mean, now it paid out because, I'm doing fairly well, but, that's pretty much where I started. And here I am now. So I'm making YouTube videos almost every day, maybe sometimes multiple a day. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please sure to like, subscribe, comment if you are a trader and kind of your story. I would love to hear it. And, I'll put the chat room down below for you guys to check it out. Remember to always stay happy, stay positive, and I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the day and a great weekend. I can't even talk. Take care.